Our guest in this segment is Pastor Tim Guerino from the Martinsburg Union Rescue Mission. Tim, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks. And thanks for asking me. I appreciate that. Been going early this morning and got your text, and I appreciate it, brother. And things are popping where we're at down at the mission. And you just had Lisa on. She's a great lady. What they do is great. We've been busy, but we're always busy because what we do at the mission reaches the community and beyond. We're very excited. Of course, our numbers are up since everything that's going on. But we're okay because we don't accept government funding, so we're not effective at all. We do have, as Bill said at the end of that segment, we have a wonderful, caring community that has supported us at the mission. I know last month we fed over 10,000, almost 11,000 meals. I know for the year so far, and we still have November and December to go, we're over 107,000 meals that we have fed this year alone. And it's just amazing how we're able to meet those needs constantly. And we do need volunteers at the Martinsburg Union Rescue Mission. If you want to come in today and sign up, you can go online, volunteer rescue, go to the MartinsburgUnionRescueMission.com, hit the volunteer button, fill out the form. There are some things we have to do because it's the world we live in nowadays. There has to be background checks. There has to be all that stuff. It's just the way the world is. So we have to do those things. But we're blessed. We got some neat things happening. I've been out this morning doing pickups, driving the truck, driving the box truck, yeah. And been out early, and I'll be out probably most of the day. And our warehouse has been going. We've been doing a lot of recycling. The Berkeley County Solid Waste has brought over their plastic bag truck. We almost got that done. I think we got a total of 8 bales of plastic, and they're about 1,200 pounds each, and then those bales go down to Trex. Do not bring us plastic bags. They got to go to the county because the county has to get the weight so they can for the grants, and then they bring the trailer over to us, and then we empty it, we bale it, and then we put it back on the truck and send it back to them. Because I get people giving me plastic bags, and I'm like, no, it's got to go to the county. But we at that. Cardboard paper, we just loaded a truck about another 40,000 pounds. I forget how much. Probably, I'm estimating here, so don't quote me. Because I deal with so much in a day that we got so much going on. Metal, our rag truck gets set up. That's about almost 40,000 pounds that goes out. Those are clothes that we can't sell or we can't give away. We recycle everything. And then that money comes back to the mission to benefit the mission. We don't throw stuff away. Your shoes, same thing. Do not throw them away. Your holy underwear, whatever. What the socks that go in as a pair and come out as a single. We take all that stuff.
One of life's great mysteries.
Yeah, it sure is.
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it sure is. So, but it's just such a blessing. And then our numbers are up. We have a lot of men. Okay, between the three facilities, the men's facility, the Haven House, which is the family transitional, and then the Hope House, which is the ladies up in Berkeley Springs, 9-bed. We're housing right now about 120 men, women, and children every night. Mm. And it's just amazing. It's amazing to me to be able to do that and to be able to have the community behind us. Next year, we celebrate 70 years. The Martinsburg Union Rescue Mission has been around and functioning since 1956. Next year, 70 years of serving. And we've never taken one penny from the government. And God has blessed us. We're about to launch something, and I can't say anything yet. I'd love to say something, but I can't. We're about to launch something here real soon, and that's, again, because of the community, because of the outpouring of the community, and also we're trying to fill a gap. I try to do things that there's nothing happening. I try not to duplicate. I try to fill a gap. So we're doing that. Also, just a little update. Remember Harvey, the guy that went in the Marine Corps? He had Staff Sergeant Gilmore in here.
Yeah, how'd that go?
He should have. We're waiting to hear back from Staff Sergeant Gilmore. She told us 2 weeks ago that he should be graduating this past weekend. So it should be. Maybe I got my dates wrong because I've been traveling. But he's done real well, so we'll find out. And she's hoping that he gets some leave time and come back, and then we can do a follow-up.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, and that's exciting. We have a lot of success stories. I wasn't able to bring one with me this morning, but we have a lot of success stories, and we're so excited. I'll stop talking if you guys got questions.
No, I want.
I'm sorry.
Again, I want to shill for you. We had historically, everybody goes through cardboard, right? Because everything comes in package. And historically, we've been taking it down to the Martinsburg recycling place, which is it's far away, and you got to haul it in. Taking stuff to your place to be recycled, you drive into, I forget the name of the road. It's behind.
It's Elijah Street.
Elijah Street. And you just kind of stop, and your guys come, and they pull it off, and they're friendly, and they say, "Have a nice day," and you move on. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
It's very, very convenient, and it's lovely. And same for food drop-off.
Yeah, and there's a training process. We have to train those guys because a lot of times we get new guys coming in off the streets. So it's a constant training. And then the guys that have been there a while, they train others. And so there's so many moving parts. It's amazing. Sometimes I stand back and go, wow. I'm like, Lord, this is more than I can handle. I mean, it's amazing. We're also in the process of building our new donation center there. We submitted the plans to the state fire marshal, and I think the plans are getting submitted to the city here soon. And so that's going to happen, that whole situation there. That's going to be different, be more effective, be able to do more. Process, because the recycling is huge. We do a lot of recycling. A lot of people don't realize how much recycling.
How much revenue do you think you generate off of the recycling?
Okay, I'm going to probably quote you the wrong number, but it's going to be in the ballpark. Yeah. What comes back to the mission after we have to pay the drivers and all this stuff? I think it was close to $50,000 last year.
Wow.
Okay. Now that's profit. Now there are expenses. We have to pay for electric, the forklift. That forklift must be about 1,000 years old. Not as old as Bill, but we're there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He deserved that.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
And I've been sitting here thinking something nice to ask him, but not anymore, Tim.
No.
Harness is off.
I wanted to bring a little humor, but thank you, Bill. But that forklift is our money maker. I mean, that thing is, and we get it serviced probably once a month. So there's expenses, there's all kinds of stuff, but we're very thankful that we can do that. And it all comes back. My goal is, like I said the last time I was here, is to open up another store real soon and another drop off, because between the store and the recycling center, we bring in about 25% of our sustainable income. I want to get it up to 50% or more, because right now I got to go out and raise 75% of the income, which is a lot of work. I'm speaking every weekend. I mean, I went up to Cincinnati, the Pittsburgh area, and then came back, and then speaking on the weekends. I speak during the week. My schedule's slammed, so it would be nice to have that. Plus, we can put people to work. Yes, Harvey did graduate.
Oh, yeah, that's
I just
awesome.
got mentioned that.
Wow.
Yeah, Staff Sergeant.
He's a Marine.
Yeah, he's a Marine. Yeah, he did. That was that ding there. I was waiting for that. He did graduate. So if we can get him back, I'll give you a call and let you know.
That'll be good.
So he did. That's awesome, and that's an awesome story right there. Well, you guys heard him, and he didn't get to tell it all. So we're something like that. It's close in that area, give or take. So I could be misquoting maybe a couple thousand.
It's real money.
Yeah, it's real money. Yeah, but it's a lot of work. And because we got the balers, we're able to do that. We have a system in place. It's very systematical, as you say. There's all these things have to be put together. There's pieces, and if one piece is missing, it can throw things up in the air.
Do you take old electronics?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We don't, because that's a whole different animal. That usually goes to the.
How about rubber, tires, and that sort of
No,
thing?
we can't do that. Okay. Yeah, but we take metal, all kinds of metals. We take all kinds of paper, books, papers, magazines, newspapers, shredded paper. That goes up to Chambersburg. That's the trailer that sits out in our parking lot. That gets loaded. That's the one that's about. There again, they're about 1,100, 1,200 pound bales. So there's 36 bales in a truck. You add that up. It's quite a bit of poundage going out. So we do a lot. I mean, there's so much that goes on, and that's just that part. That's not even the spiritual part of discipleship, chapel. We do a lot of people meet with us, counseling, prayer. I go out and do visitation calls, because there's a lot of people where they're pastors or they don't have a pastor in their church, and so I'm kind of like the substitute pastor. Go out, I do funerals, it's a busy time. Plus then there's also the getting out and educating the community of what we do at the mission. And then the feeding part is a big part of what we do. And we feed a lot of people.
Yeah, looking at your numbers, Tim, you fed over 100,000 through the first 9 months, 10 months of this year.
Yeah.
Also 24,000 that you've provided overnight lodging.
Yeah.
But that comes back to the question, we're entering that season of the year where we can expect harsh, very cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
What about the homeless encampments?
I wish we could solve that problem, but you can't. I mean, let me stop. Let me correct myself. I shouldn't say you can't. It's something that laws have to be passed, and I don't have that. I'm not in that sector because they can camp. They're somehow, first of all, they're breaking laws. They're camping on somebody's property they're not supposed to be on. Okay, there was a situation just recently where there was a big encampment, and then somebody was either killed or was something really bad happened, and this person cleaned up his property and now has it for sale, and basically got everybody off of there. Well, for all of us, for a long time, the people were there, and he knew it. The people were there, and again, it's always we have to wait till somebody's killed or hurt or raped or whatever before somebody goes, oh, these things are terrible. I've been preaching that from the rooftops, the encampments. I've been in the encampments. I know what goes on in the encampments. It's survival of the fittest. Whoever's the strongest rules. Yeah.
But Tim, what's the alternative?
It's just Mike asked me one time when I was on here. He said that I believe in if you could deem somebody incompetent mentally and they can be put into place. I grew up at a time, and you guys are old enough, that I worked at a state hospital when I was a kid. I did help do the laundry, and I got paid, I think it was like 75 cents an hour or something. I can't remember. And back then, those places helped a lot of people. Were there bad things that happened in those places? Absolutely. But again, we went to the extreme. We threw all that out, the baby with the bathwater, and threw it all out. And in the name of freedom and in the name of human dignity, we put them out on the streets. We deal with a lot of people that nobody will take, that we let them stay for the night. We feed them. They also, right now, we're a cold winter shelter in the sense of once it's below 40 degrees, we take people in regardless of the situation, except if they're violent and they're put on our list where they can't be here because of violence towards staff and volunteers or people living there. There's things we can do. I just think as a society, we went too far to one side to where we disband a lot of those institutions. We have people walking the streets constantly who are severely mentally ill. They give them, they'll check in at a certain place, they'll get their prescriptions, and off they go. Well, if they don't want to take their prescriptions, guess what? They don't have to take their prescriptions. So now you got a guy walking around, not even on the meds that he's on, and he's flipping out and he's doing crazy stuff for whatever medical reasons going on, and the society goes, well, there's your freedom. And to me, I think, we lack the group homes, we lack the institutions to do that. I'm not saying lock them up and all that kind of stuff, because that's usually what happens to them. They get locked up. And in jail, they're not getting the help they need. So if you're going to answer that question, I think there needs to be people that sit down, that like us, that are involved in it and house. I mean, I was brought a guy, I'm not going to use his name. I was brought a guy about 5 or 6 years ago. Chief Morey and Chief George, Deputy Chief George at the time, brought me this guy who was beat up in one of the camps, severely beat up, severely robbed, brought to us and with his dog and said, hey, could you guys house this guy, because he got nowhere else to go, and he's deemed by society as a schizophrenic, as the doctors and everything. Well, we tried to get him medicine, we tried to get him the shots, and if he refuses, we can't force it. So he stays with us. But when he leaves our facility and goes outside and walks around for the day, he could be in jeopardy. We can't protect him. But he's been with us now about 5 or 6 years, done well. But if you talk to him, there's nothing normal there in his conversation. Even he has a medical social worker from DHHR, whatever they're called now. It's a system that needs to be. We need to sit down and go, okay, what can we do for these folks other than and then if they don't make their appointment, okay, here's a great, if they don't make their appointment, then they have to re-register and start all over again. Okay, well, if you're schizophrenic and you're out in the street and you don't make your appointment, do you think that's going to matter to them? And then you have to chase them down and get it. So we do what we can at the mission, but we're not a mental health facility. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's certain people we can take, and there's certain people we can't take, because we just can't deal with anything that is real extreme. Do those places need to exist again? I would say yes.
These places being the encampments?
No, mental health institutions. Okay. I know we have Sharps on the other side of West Virginia. We have nothing on this side. I know Michael Hornby brought up the last time I was on with him and Matt, and we talked about that. And I'm not for just grabbing people off the street saying we're going to just put you in here. But there are cases and situations, because if we take these folks down to the ER, all of a sudden, because to get them in for 3 days or whatever it is to get them in, they have to be a threat to themselves or a threat to someone else. So now they're talking to us, threatening us and threatening themselves. Now we take them down to the ER. Guess what happens? All of a sudden they get normal.
Yeah. Tim, I'm trying to get my arms around the problem. I know it's a problem because I hear you and others talk about it, and I know what the rescue mission is doing is very critical and very important for a niche of our demographics.
Yeah.
But the problem is much larger than just your problem.
I agree.
And probably the folks that are going to be challenged to find solutions do not have the hands-on experience that you do. If you were the proverbial king for the day and were able to map out not the great detail, but the very basics of what the state should do, what would they be? What few points? And don't try to make it large, because we lose everything with that. Just a very 3 or 4 major points.
Break it down into smaller facilities.
Okay.
With qualified people, nurses, a doctor on staff, or a psychiatrist.
Do we have any of those in the state now?
I would, other than from Sharps, is what I know.
Okay.
On this side of West Virginia, no.
Okay.
On that side of West Virginia, I would say Sharps.
Okay.
But Sharps is the extreme. You go there when you're break the law, whatever. It's the extreme side, and thank God for Sharps. I mean,
so you're saying we need some more,
right,
for the less extreme, for the more moderate.
Yeah, more moderate, more proactive. Even group homes, stuff like that, which we used to do. I know California does it, because when I came from California, we had group homes. We did those things in there. So there was your less individuals, like the individual we have right now at the mission. He could be in a group home, where he gets his medication every day, where he has to do those things, check in, that kind of stuff, and not just, he's there. And
we have limited time.
I'm sorry.
So let me go. That's point number 1, more intermediate, moderate facilities. Point number 2.
Well, your hospitals, I know Berkeley and I know Valley Health, they now have mental health floors, and they're limited. They're limited to what they do because they're not residential. So I would say connect with those hospitals that have the mental health floors, and from there, if we can get the government or whatever to do more residential homes where those hospitals can then put people into those homes, because right now they dump them on, and I hate to use this word dump, but that's what they do. They send them to us, and we're going
Number 3.
And the third thing is, I would just say that again, involvement in the community, in the sense of you'd have to have more. And I mean, social workers, I know there's a lot out there and they're doing a lot of stuff, but they're not attached to like a group home or a group facility like that. A lot of them are, even the ones that are attached to the police department, and they do a great job, but they're just moving people. They're like a distribution center, okay? But then have a place. Now, I'm not talking about low shelter barrier. Those things don't work. That's what I came from in California, where low shelter barrier is you open up, they call it winter shelter, and anybody can be there. But you're just putting them in from 7 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning, okay? You're not really addressing the issues, and you can't have people taking medication like they should be, because if they're taking the medication like the gentleman that was with us, when he was actually taking his medication, he's very functional, but get him off the medication, He's not functionable at all. And so there needs to be a system in place of accountability with the authority behind them, because we have no authority to give anybody. I can't even give anybody an aspirin, let alone anything else.
So what I'm gathering from this discussion is that the bulk of the needs center around mental health.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Mental health, but a lot of the mental health has been caused by the drug abuse and the alcohol abuse and sexual and physical abuse. So what a lot of the stuff the mental health is the deeper cause of the abuse that has gone on for years with the drugs. We have one gentleman, his brain is just fried from the drugs. And we have a young lady, her brain's just fried from the drugs and the abuse. So then they act it out. But if they had the proper environment, accountability, a place to sleep at night, as a residential, not here's a shelter, and then where they have to take the medication, the people on staff are qualified, like a nurse or an LPN or something that can give medication without being sued, that they take that medication every day, they could be functional adults.
Are we faced the problem that we cannot afford what you're saying?
Yes.
We can also not afford to do it?
Because they cost more to put them in prison than if you did what we're talking about.
Or right now, the solution is to ignore it.
Or put them in prison. Literally put them in prison.
But these homeless encampments, some of them are dozens of people. Of those dozens, are you suggesting, what percentage do you think are drug addicted?
I would say 99% of them, if not more, if
your
not 100%. Oh, I take you in. You can see the needle pile. You can see when you go in at certain times in the day or night, you could smell what's going on.
So is it just kind of an urban legend that these are the people who are temporarily homeless, they've lost their job, and they're trying to find another one, and I mean that's what we hear is.
I don't know if they're trying to find a job as much as they're just trying to survive.
We hear that everybody is one paycheck. Most people are one paycheck away from homelessness, and
well, they have these people that are in the homeless camps. They've burned their what you would call your social net. Okay, we have a social net. Something happens to me, I have family I can fall back on. I have friends, and we're about ready to go.
How do people donate to the mission, sir?
Martinsburg Union Rescue Mission.com. Hit the button today. We, as Lisa said, we could definitely use the finances because we can get more with the money. So
I'll have you on again before Thanksgiving. Okay?
Yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you guys for this discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thanks, Ron.